Talofa everyone, Gaijin Goombah here, and welcome to another Alola Adlib episode. Cause the next culture shock's on Minecraft and Judaism, and it's gonna take some extra attention, so my time's a little short spread, but regardless! So you came wanting to know about this guy, right? The Alolan Marowak. Cause let's be honest here, we all know he's based off those Polynesian fire dancers, but what else besides that do we know? Cause there's actually a lot of culture going on in this Pokemon. Also, please forgive me, I'm not super great with Polynesian language. Anyway, Marowak's departure from ground type to fire ghost type was kinda weird. Sure, it may have something to do with Cubone's mom being a ghost, yada yada yada, but that took place in Kanto, and this guy is way over here in theoretical Hawaii. Now, this new typing is actually independent from its past lore and is completely encased in Polynesian, but more specifically, Samoan culture. So let's get the obvious out of the way. Alolan Marowak is what's known today as a fire knife dancer. However, what I found surprising is that this reference isn't as old as people think. I mean, yeah, the actual dance aspect is super old, but the fire element was added to the dance in 1946 by the legendary Freddie Latuli to give some serious spice to the showmanship of the dance. But nope, the original dance, called the Ailo Afi, used a non-ignited weapon called a Nifo Oti, or Death Tooth. It resembles a sort of war club made from materials ranging from serrated wood in older times to sharpened steel in more modern, usually with a hook in which to catch enemy weapons. Samoan warriors developed this dance as a sort of exhibition of their strength, agility, and capabilities with their weapons, usually acting as a ceremonial procession of daughters and high chiefs. This not only explained Kiawe's bio of studying traditional dance, but when you think about it, the original Marowak is actually more historically accurate to the Alau than the Alolan Marowak. Crazy, right? But like I said, come 1946, after watching baton twirlers and fire eaters perform at the Golden Gate Park in San Francisco, Uluau Freddie Latuli said, yeah, check this out, and combined the two by wrapping towels around his performance machetes, lit him up, and completely wowed his audience. From the 1950s to modern day, the dance still lives on in entertainment and high competitive tournaments, where each performer attempts to outdo the last in a dazzling display of light, speed, and agility. And not only does the fire enhance an already stunning display, but adds another layer of challenge and discipline. I gotta say too, as a minor side note, even the way that the flame is produced is actually culturally identical to the Samoan way of life. According to the Pokemon website, Alolan Marowak ignites their bone club by vigorously rubbing it on its skull. I suppose that's why there's a giant char mark on his skull as well. But guess what? Samoans do the exact same thing. You know that old joke of making fire by rubbing two sticks together? Well, it turns out it's not as much as a myth as we thought. Samoan folk actually do rub two sticks together, however, to really get the fire going, they use the fibrous husk of a coconut as kindle to create a flame, transferring the smoldering particles from the wood to the fibers. Now that explained Alolan Marowak's fire type, but what about his ghost type? Well, believe it or not, that also has some pretty distinct cultural explanation. Enter the Night Marchers, also known as Huakai Po. These are the ghosts of ancient Hawaiian warriors who leave their burial sites, rally together, and march to old battlegrounds lost to history. And it's said that they're easily identified by the sounds of the beating of their war drums and the ferocious flare of their upheld torches. Though it's actually pretty rare to come across them, as they typically only show up in mass numbers on a moonless night. Upon seeing or hearing these apparitions, it's advised that you run like crazy, or if there's nowhere to run, hit the ground face down and keep your head bowed, because unless you have relatives in the ranks, you will quickly die and join them for eternity. Not only does this explain Alolan Marowak's ghost type is attributed to his torch, but also his bio-entry form from Pokemon's website. Quote, Marowak's rarity and its fearsome appearance when it dances with its bone led the people of Alola to dub it a conjurer and regard it with fear. The rarity stated may very well come from the fact that Night Marchers typically come out only on a moonless night. The conjurer aspect could easily derive from the ghosts of warriors rallying from their burial grounds, and the fear? Well, running from or hitting the ground and hiding from the Night Marchers should be pretty self-explanatory. And there you have it! What seemed like a pretty strange shift in Pokemon typing in Sun and Moon not only makes a ton of sense, but actually has some exceptionally spiffy Polynesian culture tied to it. So thanks for watching everyone, and a big thank you to Loot Anime for sponsoring this video. If you're interested in unique anime swag at half the retail price and want to support my ability to keep making videos the way I want to, head on over to lootcrate.com/Goombah3 and use the code Goombah3 on checkout to get 10% off your purchase. Also, if you're interested in learning more about Polynesian culture, I left a few links in the description that I used to help with my research. But if you want even more Alolan Pokemon goodness, click those annotations, cards up top, or links in the description to not only find out why Executor went all Giraffe Dragon on us, but also its disturbing origins as a South Asian monster. And don't forget to subscribe to stay up to date on all of my newest cultural videos. But until next time everyone, this is Gaijin Goombah, signing out.